paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
And on that note, everybody, welcome into Brainstorm Brewery.
Whoa.
This
On
episode is
that
not
note-
sponsored by any beverage company.
Oh, Jason, that was good. That
We're
was a
playing
good-
games.
Jason
I
hates
checked my mail.
He hates physical bits, but that was a good physical bit.
No bonsai in my mailbox. You guys know where to find me, so you're playing games, so I can play games too. This is where I would hold up a can of bonsai and say, I'm drinking the delicious cherry peach flavor, but you're playing games. So you know what?
But
I play games too.
Jason,
You
yeah,
said the brand name multiple times.
you did it.
Yeah, well, how
wrong.
are they supposed to know it's them?
Jason is saying, "Quit playing games with my heart."
I'm saying quit playing games, bonsai.
We can bleep it in post.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Why would
DJ.
you? No, they need to be called out by name.
That's what they want, though, is to be called out by name.
Yeah,
That's
how they
what
can-
I want. I want them to sponsor me. And they're not going to sponsor me if they don't know that I'm willing to be sponsored by them.
That's an email. That's a could have been an email.
Could have been an email, not a.
No,
bit on that show.
that's some old.
The mold
I'm watching the show about Logan Paul, and he said that
Oh,
attention
no.
is the new
I
currency.
I saw that. He's right, by the way.
He's right.
Except he's
I'm
wrong.
going to get your attention
Okay,
with
listen.
this provocative can.
No, listen. Logan Paul
Or
is,
ad here.
he is incredibly wrong on attention being the new currency. Attention is the old currency. Attention is the only currency.
Okay,
What?
fine.
I
In
actually
the
think
media-
that money is a pretty important currency.
In the media ecosystem that Logan Paul lives in, attention has always been the only currency.
Aren't we in that media ecosystem too?
Yeah, we're really bad at getting attention.
But we're terrible at it because
I mean,
we're
what do
just
you
like,
think-
what if
what do
we
you-
had an informative podcast and everybody went,
What do you think, like, yellow journalism 100 years ago was?
Let's say something provocative.
scalpers increased the price of Coalition Victory 10,000% before I could buy my 4 copies just in case I ever decide to play it. How could scalpers do this?
I had something controversial to say. This will boost engagement. I think magic is fun.
Woo!
Yeah,
Hot take.
Screw you guys. If you don't like it, get in the comments. Yell at me. Tell me you think I'm wrong. Boost that engagement. Like,
Every time I think I
subscribe.
don't like Magic, I pick up some fucking Fallout cards and I'm like, oh no, it's the best it's ever been. And
Yeah,
it's dumb that Universes Beyond made me forget that I hated Universes Beyond, but here we are.
Well, I go play Magic and I start to have fun, and then I have to get online to remember what it is I'm doing wrong. And don't worry, Shorter tells you what it is you're doing wrong if you suggest you're having fun playing Magic.
You know what I do? I go on
Magic Gathering is
Reddit
fun
and
as
I
hell when
help
content cre-
idiots. Like the people that are asking the really dumb fucking questions, I just help those people. That's all I do. Because they're not idiots. They're new. They're naive. Right? I like that. Everyone complains about those posts. That's just like my new kink is just like helping people build a deck. I don't even technically work for EDH Rec anymore, so like they're not paying me to do that. They weren't before either. They're like, we wish you'd do something useful. I'm like, not now, I'm Redditing. So like now I'm not even being paid to not supposed to do it. And like it feels good, man. Just help a new person use a web-based tool. I don't care, even if it's like, well, not tapped out, even if it's deck stats.
I'm a big
Help
Moxfield.
somebody.
Someone liked-
just do that. It's great.
Someone liked my deck on Moxfield, so I feel like I helped them. My
There you
mobile
go.
deck.
But that's non-trivial though, like posting your deck on Moxfield or Architect, you know, where you can have some additional information about it for people, and they can like play test with it and stuff like that. Yeah, it's fun. I like doing that.
I was building my Deadpool deck, and it was pretty helpful. Like EDH Rec was useful for getting, an idea of what people are building with Deadpool. But then when I wanted to go past the first, 10 cards or whatever, it was really helpful to go look at individual people's lists, which I could find by just Googling like Deadpool chaos list Moxfield or architect or whatever, like putting that in, and then I
Well, that
started
stuff's
finding.
on.
Yeah, I also learned that
you can search the
then,
list on EDH.
I then learned that you could then do those things on all of these websites. I learned a lot
Corbin,
about this.
you seem like the kind of person that would open Yahoo, put Google into Yahoo, and then put Moxfield into Google, and then click that link, and then search a card name.
No, Corbin is not my wife, Brittany.
No,
Thank
you
you.
type Bing into Google so that you can go to Bing to look at the porn. Is that how you do it? Is that what I understand?
No, you open an incognito window, and then you type Bing into that, and then Google will search Bing for you.
Well, it's harder now when like I Google cast of movie, and it's like a movie from the 1960s, and it says that Idris Elba's at top billing. Like it's hard to trust the information.
The internet
sources.
has gotten bad. Yeah, the internet has gotten bad.
5 years ago, if you Googled it, I would have been like, oh, okay, Corbin did his due diligence. But now I'm just like, buddy, if you're not citing at least like 3 scientific journals, I'm not fucking with you.
But the real Google results have always started on page 2 anyway, because it's like sponsored, ad.
You say always. I mean, you say always, but that's true now. Maybe that was true even 10 years ago. But like,
early Google
15 years ago, that wasn't true. Or whatever. Like there was a point in time where Google worked really well. Now you have to put Reddit at the end of every search just to get any results that are helpful. It is what it is. The internet sucks. But AI stuff's terrible. There was a time where I was trying to figure out if I was at a Magic event. So I typed in my name and the Magic event, and the Google Auto AI result at the top said such and such was a Magic tournament that took place on such and such events. Corbin Hostler was there. And I was trying to tell a story in an article and I just wanted to verify what event I was telling that story from, But no, I wasn't at that event. I went and checked. I wasn't there. The AI just made that up, but the Wizards archive was down. So I kind of didn't know what else to do. So yeah, AI sucks. The internet sucks. Everyone on Twitter is a bot. Like you find a bot. Here's the thing: you find a bot on Twitter, like beyond the shadow of a doubt, a bot that does all the, okay, I found one, and then you go look at that bot's account, and it is just a stream of right-wing influencers and senators and Congress people and Elons, and it's just all these retweets, and these tweets that they're retweeting will have 50,000 likes or whatever, and it's like so much is fake. It's so much of the internet is fake.
And that's why Elon bought it, because there were too many bots. So he bought it to clean it up. Yeah. We're the most propagandized nation on Earth, and we only don't think so because it's working. Welcome to Brainstorm Brewery, everybody.
Let's talk about Magic.
You know what was really good? Okay, I'm doing my weekly detour. Getting started on a detour with the podcast. Who here has seen the movie Sinners yet? Have you gotten around to it?
I saw the previews for. I saw Freaky Tales.
I'm gonna watch it on an. I'm gonna watch it on an airplane.
Corbin, I'm gonna strangle you.
Why?
I go see it in theaters. I swear to God.
It's Ryan Coogler, man.
Listen. I love horror movies. I want to go see it. I'm getting the AMC Movie Pass thing for this summer. So I'll see it on an airplane or I'll see it in a theater. But I will see it.
See it in a theater. If you watch it on an airplane, I will leap through this computer and kill you, brother.
If you watch it for the first time on an airplane.
I start the movie on an airplane, and Cash just pops up behind me.
I'm just saying, man.
I bought 36C for this reason, motherfucker. Just right from behind.
Yep.
It is so visual. Like the music is so good on the big speakers. Man.
I want to go see it. Okay, I'll go see it.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
I trust.
I should have said 36B. Corbin's
being
a middle seat guy.
Disappointed at Corbin's taste in movies is kind of my thing. You gotta.
No, I like horror movies. We've talked about this. I will go see this movie. I'm into this.
It's I think it is my favorite movie I've seen this year, and I also did see Mickey 17. So
Yeah, Mickey 17 was a little bit like Bong Joon-ho is increasingly understands that he's not going to get an American audience to grasp a nuanced argument while reading subtitles, so it can't be subtle.
But I did enjoy Mickey 17 a lot.
I did too, yeah. It's just he's less subtle because he understands the grade level of his audience now.
Sinners is the first movie where they had one actor playing twins where it didn't distract me at all. It was actually just they had a couple of shots in the movie where he was interacting with himself clearly, and it was seamless, and they were just flexing.
It's just him and his brother, Michael A. Jordan.
It's an AB situation.
That's his twin brother. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. That's why you sent that clip in the group chat, huh?
Which clip?
Of the twins.
That was
DJ
me.
sent that. Corbin
That was
is.
DJ.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, that was a general. Yeah, that is why, because this is. Oh, or was that not
No.
related?
That was
yes,
just like a
make
random
it-
news clip.
Unrelated.
Unrelated. I see.
Yeah.
Corbin referencing memes from the group chat to really make the audience feel included.
Well, that's what we want them to do. We want
I think
them to feel
white
included.
Australian blonde women are the exact opposite of the movie centers, right?
That
It's pretty
if you
hard
have
to get geographically further. Yeah, you're right.
Right?
if you haven't seen it, anyone who's listening, there's a viral clip going around the internet right now of an interview in Australia where they cut to the interview and you think it's going to be normal with one person, but then it's two identical twins mirroring each other's voice. And
Yeah, in
using-
stereo. You hear them speak in stereo, and it's freaky.
and they like use the possessive, like, you know, everything's like we were doing such, and then we.
Well, that's
heard
the
our-
royal we.
Yeah,
It could just be the royal we. You never know.
Anyway, it's a crazy clip. Let's talk about Magic, where
Why?
some crazy
Nothing
stuff
happened
also.
this week.
Yeah, pretty slow week, huh? Unless you're a Commander player, of which I guess there's a couple. We had some cards come
We
off
had
the
some
ban
unbannings.
list.
We had some changes to game changers, but that kind of got released today also and was buried. But Gavin made a
Yeah.
separate announcement too.
Do you want to go ahead and break down wherever you want to start with that, Jason? Like, what stands out to you today?
Okay, JJ, sorry, give me a second to find it and bring it up. I wasn't
That's
ready.
fine. Yeah, no.
Do you have an article keyed up? Does somebody have it? Or-
While Jason stumbles and fumbles.
Oh no! Don't do that! Fuck! How dare you?
No,
I have
no,
the
no,
bracket
no.
update article.
It's funny
I
because
got
I pitched it to Jason because I didn't have it in front of me.
I got a time fill. Can we just talk about how perfect and wonderful and magical and lovely the card Gifts Ungiven is?
Ooh, I do
You can just
like
grab
it.
you can just grab Life from the Loam and 3 cycling lands. You can grab Life from the Loam, Academy Ruins, Mindslaver. Oh, you can just do it all.
Well, I didn't.
You can go get a Realms Uncharted and a copy of.
So you
I don't
get
know.
Gifts Ungiven for Realms Uncharted, Intuition, Noxious Revival, and Regrowth.
I'm just gonna get Life from the Loam in 3 lands. I didn't think about that. That's incredible.
Gifts Ungiven is kind of a bull card, and I hope it's a game changer eventually because I just don't want to
So
deal with that.
I think Gifts Ungiven is a card where it is the sickos are going to find Underworld Breach, Savine's Reclamation, and every other person is going to find Life from the Loam in their favorite 3 lands, and I think that's
I hope
that's the
so.
perfect power level.
Jason, they already announced that those cards are becoming game changers. All of the unbanned cards got moved from unbanned to game changer.
I guess
Oh,
that
yeah,
makes
okay.
sense.
They self-select in that way, right?
That makes sense. Yeah,
I must have missed that in. Oh, I had to read all of
Well,
this
it
shit
makes
today.
sense. So even though like some of the cards that came off the ban list are sort of like legacy bans where no one like they were on the ban list because
Sure.
they were on the ban list.
So
No one
these
would-
cards are not the same in that regard because it seems like Gifts Ungiven is going to remain a game changer and Sway the Stars. is
right,
probably not,
right. But
sort
it
of a
does
thing.
seem good. But it does just for the sake of showing how this is going to work. Game changers is the step in between banned and not.
Yes.
So if you're taking cards off
It's
the
the
ban
staging
list,
server for the
yeah,
format, right?
Exactly. So it makes sense that you move them through that, even though obviously I don't think all of the coalition victory. I don't know that any of these cards are truly what we consider broken in 2025 Commander.
No, so yeah, so Gifts Ungiven
I
is,
think two of them.
is the most like spike card, and the rest of these are kind of tinny
Yes.
cards.
Yes.
I think that like the 2 cards we will see make CEDH impact are Gifts Ungiven and maybe Panoptic Mirror. And the rest
Yeah.
is just like cool cards that someone will enjoy that don't need to be on the ban list and make a statement to unban, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of these are nearly as controversial as something like Primeval Titan.
Yeah, and I'll also go on record saying I'm very happy that whatever ends up happening, they went slow on this and they didn't go after Primeval Titan. I'm also very happy they didn't touch any of the cards that got banned last year. I think that would have sent a bad message.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
maybe at some point
I don't think they
them-
were ready anyway. They don't have enough data to even make a.
Correct. Yeah, that is a 2 years from now move.
Right, at which point I think a lot of it will die down. But like I had people just adamant that after it all happened, like this caused such a fuss that they're definitely going to unban them now that they've taken over the rules committee, blah, blah, blah. And I just think that moving very slowly with the idea that Commander is not a rotating format. Even we may talk about it as in that way sometimes with new decks. If you're Gavin, which is basically who a lot of this probably comes down to take the really long view on things here.
So they did specifically address Dockside, Extortionist, Jewel Lotus, Mana Crypt, and they've said that they will consider, they're not no more future bans for the rest of the year. No further bans for the rest of the year. So the cards unbanned were Gifts Ungiven, Sway of the Stars, Braids, Cabal, Minion, Coalition Victory, and Panoptic Mirror. So, we've talked Gifts Ungiven to death a little bit. Sway the Stars is just a card that's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's a little Scheherazade bull thing, but, I don't think anyone's going to actually do anything all that annoying with it, or it'll just get countered. It's just one of those things that, it's not 2011 Magic anymore. Exactly. Braids, again, you could build it, but then it's a mono black deck, so, if Braids isn't in your command zone, who cares? And if it is in your command zone, then your deck is just no more annoying than any other mono black.
Turgrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
any
Turgrid's
other
already
mono
a game
black
changer.
stacks deck is just okay. The Braids, it's so benign compared to everything else that mono black stacks does. That it's just fine now. And Coalition Victory is a dumb. If you get that, congrats. But it's harder to pull off an approach of the Second Sun, right?
Yeah. Well,
it just is.
I mean,
so,
maybe, but who cares? It's just fine. If you beat me with that, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really like that this system allows us to kind of put cards into brackets is the wrong word now, but buckets, I guess, to be
buckets.
similar.
Yeah.
So Narset, War of the Spark Narset also got added to the Game Changers list.
Yes.
And I like that provides. Somebody in a group chat I'm in said wow, this means that they're never banning Leovold or never unbanning Leovold, because if they're putting Narset from nothing to Game Changer, then that means that Leovold's never coming off. And I would argue the exact opposite, where I think that putting 3 mana card plus Wheel of Fortune is okay in the format means that you can give a roadmap for something like Leovold, where the card was printed almost 10 years ago. We have evolved as a society to use tools, and that kind of card is fine in the format within context of what we're doing nowadays. And so
Leovold was banned so fast, there kind of isn't enough data to even say, well, if we unban Leovold, this would happen, because we don't know what would happen. There was just no time.
Right, Leovold was the Nadu of its time. And it was just such a big, 3-color soup nonsense best thing you could do in those colors, because I don't know if anybody is aware of this, they designed that card for tiny leaders. That was the thought process behind Leovold.
Wait,
and so,
whoa, citation needed, citation needed.
I am fairly confident that is accurate.
I don't think those timelines line up.
It would be irresponsible to say something that's not true on a podcast. No one does that. That's not legal.
Why do you think that is not the correct timeline, Corbin?
I don't remember that at all, which means very little. But I do remember tiny leaders, and I don't remember Leovold being associated with that format, which again means very little. But also
that was right when Conspiracy Take the Throne came out.
That's a lot of tiny leaders would have had to existed and then make its way into the Wizards pipeline to get a design, and then it's possible, obviously.
All right, Corbin, I'm gonna hit you with some not Google AI nonsense. I'm gonna give you some hard facts, okay?
I'm curious.
Ready?
I'd love to learn something today.
I am on the MTG wiki page for tiny leaders, and there is a citation at the bottom. Gavin Verhey, December 9th, 2014. 5 fun formats you've probably never heard of.
Go on.
So Gavin is aware of tiny leaders at the end of 2014. Conspiracy 2 released August 26th, 2016. So roughly it's 16 to 18 months after that.
Okay. I hear you.
Oh my god, Conspiracy 3!
Or just that he was aware of tiny leaders?
I
remember He's lining up the
seeing...
timelines.
Yeah, I'm lining up the timeline here.
He has a Conspiracy 2 theory.
That's the episode title.
That is the episode title. All right. I'm going to read the list of cards that were added.
If somebody... No.
Go ahead.
I am a podcaster, so I don't need to spend 30 minutes Googling this and getting AI results that tells me Corbin was in Oklahoma City in 2009. Or wait, when was the Oklahoma City bombing? When were you in Oklahoma City?
Not 2009.
1998.
I know, but I want to... Yeah, okay, Corbin was there on that date.
1997.
Yes,
1995.
was there.
Nope, 1995. I got there. 95.
You live in Oklahoma City. How do you not know?
I will give $25 store credit with my store to anybody who can find that citation. I'm a podcaster. I don't need to do the work.
Please do. We got Joe Rogan over here who says, do my research for me. Let's do it. Yeah.
I am 95% confident Leovold was designed for tiny leaders and that there is evidence on the internet that supports my statement.
I would love to hear this and learn something new. Here's the list of cards that were added to the Game Changers. And I will say that, to me, a couple of these cards feel like they were added in 2018 and not 2025. But here's the list. Teferi's Protection. Humility.
Good. Bullshit.
Narset Parter of Veils.
Good
Intuition.
bullshit.
Consecrated Sphinx. Necropotence. Orcish Bowmasters.
Corbin, it's pronounced Necropotence.
I knew someone was going to say that. Notion Thief. Deflecting Swat. Gamble.
Corbin, it's pronounced Gomble.
Worldly Tutor. Crop Rotation.
Rotation did nothing wrong.
Seedborn Muse. Yeah, that one's wild to me. Natural Order. Food Chain. Aura Shards. Field of
Aura
the
Shards
Dead.
is a bull magic card that makes
Mishra's
Magic fun.
Workshop.
If you were playing with any of these cards, then all of these cards probably feel fine to you, right? Sure.
Well, some of the Consecrated Sphinx, I've started cutting that card from decks. I think it sucks in 2025, but that's just me.
But it changes the game, though. If someone has a Sphinx, you have to go, oh, no, wait, I drew. That's why Game Changers suck, because like, everybody remember my fucking triggers. Like, every time anybody does a thing, you got to pay a mana or the blue player draws a card, and it's just like, I'm just so sick of that kind of in a game of Magic. Huh. Every game action, it gets to be your turn for a little bit.
That's an interesting take. Okay.
Well, that's why the cards that are on the Game Changer list are on the Game Changer. Some of them are just like, okay, Humility makes Magic really tedious, right? Or Food Chain makes Magic really kind of academic.
Some of them
it's
are
like, I'm going to go off and win now.
Some of them are power. Like, to me, I view the Game Changers as a power level thing.
But it's not always a power level. But I mean, like, Ristic Study is annoying because they get to draw a card, but it also makes the game academic because they see so much of their deck they're going to win. But like,
there's no weak cards on the Game Changers list,
right? But so what I'm saying is, like, Teferi's Protection, incredibly powerful. I get it. Narset Parter of Veils. Okay, that's there because it combos with wheels or whatever, right? Like, that's a very powerful, unfun experience, right? Then I look at something like, I don't know, like Consecrated Sphinx, for instance, or even like...
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Sphinx is on there.
Seedborn Muse, almost even. Like,
because Seaborn Muse makes it your turn on everybody's turn.
Yeah, you're right. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're right. Like, to me, like, Seaborn Muse and Consecrated Sphinx are not at the same power level in Commander as Food Chain, which is a literal I win the game right now card.
Yeah,
right?
Some of these are the game becomes annoying because Food Chain guy wins unless we stop Food Chain guy. But some of it's just like, oh, Consecrated Sphinx guy is going to be like, hang on, I got to draw cards.
That's interesting. Yeah,
every 2 seconds. These are all annoying cards.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Teferi's Protection is annoying because it turns out I win into, like, actually the game's not over. It's a 2-player game now.
Which one is that, Jason? I'm sorry?
Teferi's Protection.
I hate Teferi's Protection, yeah. But
I disagree with Mishra's Workshop being on this list. I believe when this list came out, I thought it was on the list. And I disagree with it being on the list, even though I thought it was on there. This card is in the same category as Tabernacle, where I think it self-excludes based on price. And
I love that DJ's had an extra long time to think about what a bad choice this was.
I love it. He's got this one loaded up.
I had an argument already, actually. That's same thing as Tabernacle, I think.
Like, these cards self-exclude based on the fact that they are a bunch of money, and if you are playing with one of these cards in your deck, I think that is the same level as just, like, already having that pregame conversation. And, like, I think the mental space it takes on an average player's toll to go through this and like think about whether or not this card is a game changer is not worth it being like, how many games does that impact? How many players are like making decisions to be like, oh, should I cut my Tabernacle or not? Or, oh, is my Workshop a game changer or not in this artifact deck that already makes 1 billion mana because it's an artifact deck? Like, how many games is that card being on the list impacting? And is it worth every other player scrolling by that card and thinking, what is this? Oh, it's $3,000. Never mind.
I mean, there is, at some point, you could say too many game changers, I guess.
Right. We have a Dunbar's number here, and we don't want to reach it.
What does that mean for people who
It's
don't
the
know?
average number of people that one person can, like, remember the names of and, like, think about as a concept.
Oh.
So, like, the average person can only think and maintain social relationships with like, 150 other people. And so, like, we don't want to have a list of 2 pages long of game changers and have somebody be like, the pregame conversation becomes 20 minutes of everyone looking at their deck to see if, like, how many game changers are in it.
But also, it's not that bad, because if like you're playing a game and it's like, oh, that's a game changer. You said your deck was bracket 3, and they're like, oh, okay. Well, what do you want to do about it? And they're like, it's not a big deal. Let's just play some Magic. Like, it's not like in a tournament where you're like, you're going to get DQ'd for having a game changer in there. It's just sort of like, hey, man, you should have looked at Natural Order and been like, all right, yeah, okay. Natural Order is just one of those.
It is kind of interesting, too, to see how your own decks line up.
I get crop rotation. I'm fighting that because of bias, but not because it's a bad.
It always goes and gets Glacial Chasm or whatever, like...
Glacial Chasm's a game changer anyway, so like anything that it gets Field of the Dead and Glacial Chasm, and that's kind of some bullshit. Gets Tabernacle and
Rotation is one of the
Workshop.
strongest cards on this list, though.
Yeah. Jason,
it is a 1 mana instant speed tutor.
It didn't do anything wrong. It just gets a land. It doesn't get a creature.
Jason, you're wrong here.
It's pretty powerful.
No, it's annoyingness. This card is not annoying.
Yes, it is.
Because I play it.
I will say that it's like less powerful in Commander, because it basically just gets Glacial Chasm a lot of the time. But it is just inherently, obviously, one of the most broken cards in Magic. But
you guys keep using the word power. Stop that word. That's like a mindset that like everyone gets in, and it's a fucking 60 card mindset.
Maybe
100 card players just can't get out of that power level. The people are like, what? The crop rotation has such a low power level compared to all the other stuff that's got added to the game changers. Why is that? It's like, it has nothing to do with power level.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll throw in while we're talking about these cards, Teferi's Protection, I think, is a good addition to the game changers list because of how strong it is. I also think that the real problem with Teferi's Protection is that there's like 5 Teferi's Protections now of varying kinds, and it makes it really difficult to play against those decks. Like, there's an Angel that has Flash or something that will blink all of your creatures out when it comes in, and then when it dies, they all come back into play. So, like, people just save it in response for a Wrath, and then you Wrath, and it just becomes like you Wrath 2 players, and the 3rd player not only gets to keep their board, they get to reset all their ETBs. And it's between that and Teferi's Protection and Heroic Intervention and the white Heroic Intervention and Dawn's Truce, and there's a couple others. It gets to the point where there are just too many of them.
Can I ask you a question, Corbin?
Yes.
Do people want strong white cards in Commander? Genuine question. Do people want strong white cards in Commander?
I don't know. Like,
Corbin, I'm asking you a question. Answer my question specifically, please. Do people want strong white cards in Commander?
Is the answer yes?
Because there's not a lot of designs you can take in white that are not just like powerful sweepers or like rate angels. Like, white has to do something unique. People spent so many years complaining, like, oh, white sucks in Commander. All it has is crappy tax effects. And it's like, yeah, man, they managed to find a cool space to have white do something unique. And it's like, if you're going to hold up like a 6 mana angel to protect your creatures from a Wrath, that's awesome.
I think it costs
but
but
it's not a game changer, is
it? Yes, as I said,
every other color gets to do something more impactful and annoying. Like, white can have good cards.
I think
people complained for years that there were no good white cards, Corbin, and now there are. People are complaining that they exist. You fucking people are insatiable.
I think I just said it's good that it was added to the game changers list.
And it's fine, because like, it's not going away. It's going to a place where everybody likes game changers. Right? That's where game changers go. They go to be played with other game changers. It's like, if you like that kind of Magic, well, you'll love all this. So that's fine, because it just protects the rest of us from having that in the game. So it's good. Anything, but DJ's right. You don't put 500 cards on the Game Changers list, but also I can't think of too many that aren't on the list that they added today or the list they had already. Right? It needs to be under 100 cards.
Yes.
And it probably
for
will
sure
be.
under 100, yeah.
It'll
We're at
stay
62
under
now.
100.
Or
Yeah.
62, wow. Maybe like 75 to 80 would be where I'd want to go.
But
So
they
here's
took 2 off.
which were Trinisphere and Trouble in
Trinisphere and
Pairs.
Trouble in Pairs.
Yeah.
And Trouble in Pairs is, I don't know.
Here's a question. Do you have any idea what your deck's brackets are, Jason?
I only have one deck with Game Changers in it. I mean, not a lot of tutors, like as a fetch landed tutor. So like, I think most of mine are 2 and 3.
Interesting. Okay. So like I have 13 decks built at the time that this list became a thing. And I have not gone through any of them to know how many Game Changers are in them. My guess is that each one has like somewhere between 3 to 6. So like all of us feel like we have a pretty good idea of where our decks fell and where we think they fall. But like, I'm just curious. Like I've never actually gone through and looked at my lists or gone through my deck and been like how many Game Changers I have. Just curious if that's something people are doing so that when you go to sit down at a table, you can really definitively be like, my deck is a bracket 2 or whatever. Because I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be like, my decks are good. They're upper end good, but
it's about your intention too, because like just like if it's possible to be wrong in good faith and it's possible to lie, that doesn't mean it's not useful, right? You can have a good faith conversation and be a little bit mistaken, and the game doesn't go 100% great, but like the consequences of putting a bracket inappropriate card in a deck or having a bracket inappropriate deck for the table is just like sometimes we were having bad games before, but we didn't know why, and now we know why. Because sometimes you're the asshole and it becomes real apparent why you're the asshole. And you don't even, nobody has to say anything. You just be like, oh, that game went way too fast it went in my favor way too quickly and nobody could recover because of this. Nobody else is doing this kind of thing. All right. So I need to play against that. Like it's just to kind of give us a better vocabulary for why a game went wrong, as much as it is to prevent a game from going wrong, right?
Sure.
It really helps you figure out just basically the whole 75% thing I came up with in 2011 was just like, I don't want to have a table inappropriate deck.
no,
So I'll make sure my deck is never table inappropriate. And that was a lot of work when all you had to do was just make people have the conversation. What are you trying to do? Hey, I'm trying to do some bullshit. I'm going to blow up all your lands. Oh, I got a deck for that. Or I don't have a deck for that. Maybe don't play with me. But like you don't end up in situations where it's like miserable and you know, like, you've all had bad games. I think we'll have fewer bad games because of brackets. But again, you're not going to get DQ'd for having a game changer. Oh,
Right.
I forgot crop rotation or whatever. It's more just like, yeah, what kind of bullshit are you doing?
I think that's great. I think that's a great explanation of it. Speaking of tournaments, while I was covering Denver, I popped my head in on the CDH 5K.
Ooh.
I got a picture of the stack, which was like 16 cards deep with a bunch of triggers. They had it all laid out. They wrote the triggers down and they laid it all one on top of the other. And then I asked...
It turns into an SAT question.
Well, yeah, I walked over and I was
It's
like...
an STACK question.
I walked over and I was like, what the hell's going on? Big crowd of people.
Well, I'm an L3, so I have no idea. You'll have to ask an L4.
Yeah, it was a lot. But here's what I learned from them over there. They told me this was the last turn of the game. This is the last stack of the game.
Okay.
Apparently, the current meta in CEDH is to play the 3 to 5 cards that give your cards flash.
Yep.
And then you play in a tournament and everyone waits until the final turn of the game in time to try and win at instant speed while other people are winning. Because as the people told me, the meta developed as, it's never just like normal Commander. It's never the first person who tries to win who wins the game. It's always the second person or third person.
The second mouse gets the cheese.
Exactly. Yeah. So the natural evolution of that in a tournament meta was for people to say, well, I need to wait to win until the last second, which would be the last turn. So then they decided, well, I need to give all my spells. So that was what was happening, is apparently everything just sets up for one giant turn at the end of time where everyone tries to give their combo flash and win on top of someone else's win on the stack. And Jesus.
But if you like that, good.
What the hell?
More power to you. Good. Go do that, because you buy expensive cards. So like,
I mean, like
CEDH
I said,
people
the CEDH
deserve
player
to
group
exist.
base does not enjoy that metagame, Jason. It is not good.
I don't.
That is what they did to with themselves.
Well, that's like saying
that's
we
what
did
Wizards
not
did
do
to them by banning Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus.
That's like, no. I think this is the natural evolution of CEDH. To be honest with you.
Yep.
Because
I said this would happen 10 years ago.
I think that this is gamers gaming. I think that this is the progression of it. Because this all came about as a result of people playing this draw meta where you could like stop someone from winning, but only if the table agreed to a draw, versus letting this person win because a draw was. It got the meta of CDH.
That's too much gaming.
Got ridiculous. So that's why people started trying to do this. It's just fascinating watching it play out. I'll say that as someone on the outside. It's incredible to watch.
I feel like we've broken Cass. Can we break some bulk instead?
Let's break some bulk.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
All right, Jason, you spoke up. It means you got to go first. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at an old Magic card that got real good with the Tarkir stuff. It is from Rise of the Eldrazi, and it is a white common.
Oust.
White common?
Hyena Umbra?
No, not an Umbra at all.
Oust is uncommon.
I know. The defender
The
that
wall.
gives other defenders bigger. Yeah.
The wall.
Stalwart shield bearers are not a wall.
I
They are
love that
human
guy.
soldiers
Defender.
with defender,
Yeah,
but they beef your other walls, which means basically all of your creatures get 2 more attack power if they have defender. Yeah, these are like $3 retail, and we are back in a toughness matters meta. Dulcim didn't really do it, but Fellow Thar and Baitor Kintu all are making people think about a big fat that won't quit in those apple bottom jeans, just
the chewy
swinging that thing
pretzels.
around. Yeah.
The chewy pretzels.
Yes, it just won't quit. $12. You know, that was the top comment on Gatherer for Spell Snare for a long time, was that quote from The Simpsons.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. It might still be the top comment on Gatherer.
I thought they removed comments on
Gatherer still
Gatherer.
exists. They might have.
Gatherer
It's a
definitely
loss for the culture. You know what card from Tarkir is really good with the cards in Tarkir? It's this new Tarkir blue rare.
Draconologist.
No.
From the new set, it's a blue rare.
Yeah.
That was a good guess.
I don't
That's not
know.
how I pronounce that, Corbin, but I do like the way you pronounce it. It did tantalize a little bit.
Going for it.
Draconologist. Oh, I
I
don't
like that one
as
less,
much.
Jason, but I still appreciate the shot.
What other blue rares are in this set that do?
Now, this one's a little bit deceptive. I will admit.
I got nothing. I'm F6ing.
I think this is one of the strongest cards in Tarkir. It's
That's not what this segment is for.
well, I have
Breaking bulk of the week, Jason.
That's like being
It's actually
my
also
pick
a
of the
breaking
week
bulk.
is this delicious beverage.
Get out of here. Go ahead, Cass.
It's Meringue River Regent / Catch and Coil card.
Yeah.
It's like $1 retail. And it's like over $2 on buy list. And I saw a Japanese buy list this morning paying 800 yen, which is like $375.
Woo!
I was shocked to see
Not
that this
quite,
was
but-
only $1 or whatever price it is right now. When I
I've
looked
been
at
playing
it
with
a
this
few days
card.
ago. Yeah.
We're playing with this card in Standard. It is very good. The fact that has this weird dynamic where you play the draw 3 discard a card mode and it goes back in your deck, and so the longer the game goes, the more you draw them.
Yep.
And so even if you get into like these situations in control mirrors, whoever draws more of these just like keeps drawing more beyond that. It just self-sustains, and then control mirrors come down to decking and who can resolve more Jaces, which that's toxic. But Meringue Revolution is buy listing for double what it's currently going for, and it's currently going for like $1.
I thought at first that this was the kind of card that would have flash or can't be countered or whatever, because it looks very much like the control mirror finisher that they print, and I can't.
But it is.
Yeah, like, so it's really good. Like, that first half of it is really good. The Omen play is really nice. I actually legitimately had a game of Limited. I won because I looped an Omen. The final card in my deck wasn't the Green Dragon, so I just looped it so I couldn't deck. And my opponent realized that I had the board under control and that I couldn't deck, and they were going to. So they lost.
Inevitability.
And it's the exact same thing in Standard with Meringue River Regent and just drawing. It's like the Sphinx's Revelation thing or whatever, where you just draw into more of them. And it's really powerful.
Sure.
All right, DJ, what do you got?
I have an Urza's Saga blue common.
Not a clue.
Urza's Gears. Sorry, Corbin.
Yeah.
Hermetic
Study?
now I know. Yeah.
Is this the...
Has it been reprinted?
It's like a teacher standing up, pointing at a board, like a student.
Stern
It is
Proctor.
not, but you are on the right track, Cass.
Disruptive Student.
Jason got it.
That's Teferi.
It is a disruptive student. It's not not curfew. I know what you're thinking of, Cat. Wizard Mentor? It's not that.
Mentor is what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Or Stern Proctor. Wasn't Stern Proctor from Saga
Proctor
also?
might be the one too. I don't know.
Disruptive Student is a 3-mana 1/1 blue creature. Jason is correct. In the lore, this is actually Teferi before he sparks. Tap, you get to Mana Tide somebody on the tap. It's cute. It's a $1 common that you can get people with, I guess. I don't know anybody playing this in Wizard Tribal in the Year of Our Lord, but it's still expensive, and it doesn't have reprint. Oh, it's in Battle Royale box set. Sorry, it's got a reprint, all right, with a white border, and that white border card is roughly the same price. But
Battle Royale's cool.
Teferi's Disruptive Student spiked somewhat recently. At the end of last year, it went from not at all worth picking to $1.50 market price, and it's hovered around there.
Right
after
see if there's
Foundation's
any
reprint.
evidence. Oh, did it get it reprint? So it's standard legal? Is that what happened?
I don't think so, because this card's not in Foundations.
What is the name of it, DJ? I'm sorry.
Disruptive Student. I don't know why this card spiked, but
There's nothing in Top Commander, so I don't think EDH did this either.
I don't know that anything else would have done it.
Maybe just like... It's not played in EDH, though.
It is card number 69 from Urza Saga.
Nice.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I'm just looking at the listing for it.
Most of the recent sales are under 50 cents. So this might just be a weird direct data thing where like direct copies are $1.50 or $2 and none of the rest of them are actually worth anything. I just follow the Roka, man. Like I just do as the Roka guides.
DJ, after deriding AI earlier, now saying he follows the machine wherever it leads.
Yeah, but the machine didn't say this is a pick, and then he went online and is like, no one's buying this. It's like, oh, this is $1. I don't know why.
I'll tell you that mine here, I checked, it is on the buy list for $1. It's a black uncommon from Foundations. And I think I'm going to stump you guys.
Ulcerate or one of those like
is this like a starter
Hunger?
What?
Tribute to Hunger.
No.
I love Tribute to Hunger so much.
It's the deepest cut I know from Foundation Starter Collection.
This card was in Foundations and Jumpstart 2022. But that's it.
Creeping
2022.
No. Only the Foundations copies on the buy list.
So it was originally printed in Jumpstart 2022.
Yes, I just figured it was more likely.
I concede this is probably a really good pick.
Is it a vampire thing?
Close,
I'm thinking-
Jason. It's not a vampire thing. You're on the right track, though.
It's a zombie thing, right?
It is
It's
a zombie thing.
I can vaguely envision the car, but I'm not going to get there.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
a real
did I pick
generic
this
name.
recently? Cemetery Recruitment?
Nope. That's not what it is what I'm saying. I don't know if you
Okay,
picked
I don't
that.
know.
The ghoul's kind of like yellowish, greenish.
Yeah.
I'm envisioning
Cass
the
is
art in my
close.
head.
Yeah, Cass is the closest. It's a generic
I'm not going to
name.
get the card. This doesn't count.
Yeah.
I just like, yeah.
The answer-
I kind of see the card.
The answer is Deadly Plot. It's a 4-mana instant. Choose one. Destroy a creature or a planeswalker, or return a zombie creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And yes, it has like a ghoul that's being backlit by something that's greenish, you know. So, yeah.
That's a playable card.
Yeah,
Sure. Sure.
That's a good pick.
Quarter on the buy
I did
list.
pick Cemetery Recruitment recently, though, right? Like, this is the same card. These
Let me
are the
check.
same cards.
Let me check. You picked Cemetery Recruitment, yeah, back at the beginning of February.
Your Roka picked it back then.
I mean, they're pretty different cards.
They're both zombie cards, is what he means.
They're both zombie cards where only the Foundation starter reprint is worth something. So, yes, they are peanut butter and jelly.
I mean, they're very...
What?
All right.
I don't know the difference between a starter and a... I don't know. Does that mean it wasn't in the regular set?
No, they
Correct.
don't do the same thing.
They bring
One is
zombies back
zombify.
into your hand. Or
No, this one
raise-
puts them into play,
One is a
DJ.
zombify, one is a raised dead.
Yeah,
That's
DJ.
one step removed.
No, instant speed reanimation to the battlefield is strong as hell.
Yeah, that's why Raise Dead costs a black mana, and so does Reanimate.
Oh, this one's a removal spell.
Yeah, this card's great. I didn't know it existed until I looked it up earlier today for this, but yes, great card as it turns out.
If you bring a creature back and play it, and your opponent blocks your creature,
Get
Cemetery
outta-
Recruitment is
shut
also a removal
up,
spell.
Shut up. Out of here, man.
DJ getting corn cobbed.
By the way, we want to give a shout out at this point to our sponsor, MTGstocks. That is where we go for all of these picks. It's where I found Deadly Plot. It's where we all found our cards that stumped each other this week. So shout out to us for being so good/bad at this game. And shout out to MTGstocks for having all the best financial magic information you could want on the internet. We use the website daily, including the premium side where you can have access to monthly trends and a lot more information and tracking for things that you might want to keep an eye on. So check out mtgstocks.com.
I just got that the name of this card is a double entendre.
What?
Deadly
It's
Plot.
a deadly plot like a murder, like a deadly plot to kill somebody, or it's a deadly cemetery plot where
Yeah,
you put
or-
a body in it.
Oh, I get it. That's really clever.
Or it's like the cemetery plot is deadly because the zombie pops out and gets reanimated in instant speed. So the plot's deadly.
It's very clever. I like that.
I'm learning.
I learned opt was like a double entendre. That made me feel dumb. They had literally had to print a guy with a spyglass. I was like, oh, it doesn't just mean select. It means you look at the top. You optically. All right, god damn it.
It was
I felt-
you needed the Ixalan.
I needed the eyeglass to be. Oh, it's
Yeah.
a pun. God damn it.
It may not have been a pun when they first printed it, for what it's worth.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
I'm sure they have the same etymological root, and that's why.
that's also possibly true.
Maybe opting is making a decision based on looking. I don't know, giving someone an optical pat down and deciding they're not a threat.
All right, here's a topic that's come up. People on the internet seem to be discovering for the first time that Wizards acknowledges the secondary market with reprints. And this is people seeing that, hey, the Secret Lair reprints sometimes track to the prices of that they price them at. I.e., they don't always put $200 of cards in a $50 product. Or if they do put an expensive card, they tend to put sometimes less expensive cards to balance it out. And people always seem to think this is what I want to get at. People seem to think that because Wizards says this thing about how they don't take the secondary market in, or whatever their legal line is, it's this, people have this idea that Wizards just doesn't know what card prices are and doesn't use that to price things. The new Secret Lair is probably the most open admission WotC acknowledges its secondary market. $30 non-foil, $60 is absolutely insane. I can't make sense of it. There's only $20 to $25 worth of cards in the lair. However, Realms Uncharted has only one printing. As a result, the foil is $50 to $60. I truly believe this is why the lair has an outrageous foil price, because for some ungodly reason, WotC is too scared to actually price cards fairly.
My commentary on it was that they don't acknowledge the secondary market explicitly, and this is just like a weird coincidence, and this is just them means testing how much they can charge for a secret lair, and it probably lines up coincidentally. Not everything is a conspiracy theory, which I know is really funny for me to be saying at this point in the podcast. But
there you go. That's the perfect. Yeah,
I was engaging earnestly, Corbin.
All right, I honestly think that about sums it up. The secondary market is a real thing, and Wizards is in fact aware of it. And it turns out Magic is a business, and that's that. And that is why we're going to move on to Pick of the Week, where we're going to make you some money.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
You know what isn't my pick of the week? Profane Transfusion. How is that card still $1? I don't get it. I know that it's 9 mana, but like with Taval, Arbiter of Virtue, the reason for my actual pick of the week, Platinum Angel. I was just looking at Profane Transfusion. It's a
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's a high synergy card in the Taval deck, for obvious reasons, because you just pay a ton of life to Taval. It gives your spells delve, and you can, when you play a spell, you lose life equals mana cost. So one way to play is just nuke yourself, get to 10 life, play Profane Transfusion, go to 1, and just steal someone's whole life total. That kind of is very funny. So Platinum Angel means you cannot lose, so you can take as much damage from Taval as you want. Very fun stuff.
Taval is awesome.
So Profane Transfusion is a card to watch, I would say. So maybe that's a bonus pick of the week. If you're feeling good about it, I'm kind of wondering why it's still only $1.
One of my non-silly decks, I know I'm the Garth guy with Factory Sealed and the Gonti die with Heavily Played, but one of my only other decks I own is Selenia Dark Angel. You'll have to look it up. And it's a black-white life swappy deck that deals with this exact stuff, and a lot of these effects are very, very powerful. They're niche, but like Platinum Angel is an expensive card for a lot of reasons, and it got a Brothers War reprint a couple years ago, and they put the Foundations one, the white one, they gave Platinum Angel a flash and made it white, which means that I don't think Platinum Angel itself will be reprinted soon. Yeah, the one that's behind Cass, nice. The artwork, that artwork is the better Platinum Angel that I still need to get for my Selenia deck, and I am always a big fan of any of these life swappy, you can't lose, pay all the life nonsense decks.
And this is a new use for it, because it's like you're not playing a deck where you just do a bunch of bullshit. Like, no, your commander lets you take a ton of damage, play a bunch of spells in exchange for damage. So like, just playing a really greedy spell that also kills them, it's like, it's a new use other than the traditional like life swappy type thing. So like, I don't know, I think it's cool that they're exploring within that space. But hey, I shouldn't filibuster. I gotta get out of here. Sorry.
No, that's great.
Filibuster, I hardly know her.
I'm going to come in with a new card here. And this card, I actually first noticed this last week, and I wish I'd made it my pick of the week then instead of now. But it's still going to be good, I think. Will of the Mardu from Tarkir Dragonstorm Commander is like $6 to $7 right now, and I think it's going to be a $10 card. If not more, it's not going to get reprinted anytime soon due to being called Will of the Mardu. It's one of these cards where it's choose one, but
Corbin, they can make a SpongeBob version.
You're right, they could. It's choose one mode. If you control your commander, choose both modes card. It makes tokens equal to the number of creatures target player controls, and then deals damage to your creatures equal to something. So it's nothing like crazy here, but it is only in the commander deck. The commander printings, right, of wherever you get those in Tarkir. and has been just slowly climbing. I think if you want one, you probably grab one at $6.
Corbin, I'm going to
while you
call
can.
this pick from you emotional growth because you picked a 3-mana white instant commander card after you were hating on them so much.
After you
earlier,
said White shouldn't even have good cards. That was a direct
I like
quote
to play board
from
wipe.
Cass.
Yeah, that's true. I like to play board wipe decks, and it is so frustrating when people play that stupid angel. I don't even know what it's called. I can handle a Teferi's Protection. The problem is that angel that gives a reset all their blinks.
That
Anyway.
changes the game. Where's its game changer status? All right.
I don't even know what it's called, but it changes my games.
I'm going to change your wallets game with this next pick.
Terrible.
Ugh.
Shut up. This pick is partially attributed to Michael Caffrey in the Discord server I am in. He noticed he's been selling a lot of Nethroi, Apex of Death, and I looked at that card and I heavily agree. It is a Abzan-colored Ikoria mythic that
Card's
brings
great.
back all of your defenders because Tarkir did
Walls have 0
defendery
power.
things. Yeah, all of it just brings back your whole graveyard because all your guys have 0 power. And this card's market price was just around $1 for the past 5 years, and that's right, Ikoria was 5 years old, you grandpa slash grandma slash grandperson.
No
And
kidding.
now Nethroi is $2.50 roughly, and if there's anything I know about TCG player pricing, it is that there is a big cliff between $3 and like $7 because that
This is
where
sold out. It's sold out at $2 on Card Kingdom, most versions.
I'm going to give you, I don't remember the card, but there's a card that has like minus power or something equal to your life total or whatever. And if it's in your graveyard,
Death Shadow?
no, it's a card. It's one of the cards they made that played on Death Shadow later.
or Shadow of Mortality.
Scourge of the Skyclaves.
Yes. That's what it is.
I know my Death Shadow variants, Corbin.
There you go. Yeah, so let me read that then. Scourge of the Skyclaves has star, where its power and toughness are equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players. The point is, having negative power works for Nethroi.
So you can...
You can get more.
Yes. And I know this because I have a buddy who plays Nethroi and has done that to me, or I would have never have known it. But if Nethroi is becoming a thing, keep an eye on Scourge of the Conclaves, because that shit is insane.
You mean Skyclaves?
Yep, that one.
I got a nice one this week. Every single version of this card, every single one except for the non-foil Mystery Booster 2 reprint, either has a buy list higher than TCG low or at least a 20% direct premium. Torpor Orb?
Ooh.
The supply
What?
on that card is dwindling. That card
Interesting.
it was $40 before the big score reprint.
Wow.
Right now, TCG player direct net after fees on a new Phyrexia copy is $14.64.
That's
TCG low
crazy.
$3.71. The even like the borderless full art big score one
Yeah.
is like a low of like $9 and direct it's selling for like $35 on direct. Torpor Orb
card's
is one of the best cards in Modern against these Ketramos
It's
decks that
insane,
are
yeah.
varying
Yeah.
degrees of good or bad.
Yeah.
Get your Torpor Orbs before they get expensive again, because I know that you just like forgot, you buy listed one of them for $2, because you're like, I don't need this thing, I'll get it later.
Yeah.
Get the Torpor Orbs that you want now. The
I think
Mythic
I played-
Booster foil is only $30.
I think I play it in one deck in Commander, and I think I have like a new Phyrexia foil that I put in new Phyrexia. Had no idea that card wasn't like $2, you know?
That was the only thing on my Puka trade want list. Literally, people were just sending me $1 Torpor Orbs in like
Yeah.
2012.
Also, the big score full art one Cass is talking about is sick as fuck.
It looks
Yeah.
really cool. The vault
Yeah.
ones.
All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. I think we got to get out of here this week. Some people got some outs, but we got it. All four of us together in one show, despite all of life's challenges. So thank you, all of you, for making the podcast. And thank you, everybody at home, for listening. Thanks to our sponsor, MTGstocks. And, of course, the people who truly make this possible, our patrons. You went to patreon.com/BSB and supported the show. So thank you for listening, everybody. This is Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.
Thanks to everyone who saw me in Bay Area. Bye. I was there and I'll be in Minneapolis next month. Bye.